We're here for the annual haul out, thanks to Hurricane Matthew. And I just want to show you a couple things that we're doing. Again, when you haul your boat annually, it's a good time to check the bottom, make sure any of the blisters that you have identified in the past have not grown. I always suggest making a video of those that you can go back and review, know where they're at, because sometimes when there's bottom paint over everything, you can't find them. So you got to rub the hull and find them and make sure they're not increasing in size. And just inspect your boat. One of the things that you'll notice that we're doing here is we are looking for, we're basically what I call taking care of the pock marks. Parts of the hull paint that have come off over the year and are revealing the old paint that we had before. I always think it's a good idea to go ahead and paint your hull a different color every time you do it. Bottom paint should last about 3 years if you're hauling your boat annually and really checking it out and making sure that it's in good shape. You can see this section is perfect, but this section's got pock marks in it. The old paint was a rust color, so we can see it evident underneath there. I know a lot of people are, like to do their boats in the same color every year, but I think it's a little hard to find those spots that you want to put an extra paint on. We've gone ahead and again, we're not painting the whole hull. We're just getting those parts that have been worn away over the year, giving them a little more paint on them so that they will do well. Some of the things that you want to look at though, these are problem areas that were done. If you saw my video on when getting the hull done, these are just mistakes that a lot of yards do. And people do that themselves. Again, you can see where the stanchions have been removed, but all the paint never got on that little section right there. And this is another thing. Sometimes they'll move the stanchion to paint and they'll put plastic underneath it, and you can see how that's warped the paint, and it tends to chip away a little bit on there too. So this is just a problem of drying time. You have to let the paint dry at least a day, 36 hours is even better between coats. It usually takes at least a week or 2 weeks to do an excellent bottom job, and that will be part of the issue with this. Again, this is just our annual review. It doesn't look bad. We do have I dive on my boat usually every 3 months or so just to inspect it. We're doing a little something with the prop back here. Again, I haven't been impressed with the products that prep the metal for painting. And I seem to, every single time I dive, my prop is just covered in barnacles. So I have gone ahead and sprayed it with a Rust-Oleum product that I'll show you what that looks like in a little bit. And hopefully that will keep some of that off of there. But again, our annual review is just to make sure that our boat is in good shape for us as we get ready to plop it back in the water and hopefully get back to where we belong. So that's the annual review, and I'll show you some other things as we go along with this process. Alright, so here we are in beautiful Green Cove Springs Marina. Again, this is a great place to haul out, and we have done so after Hurricane Matthew. This is my boat up on the hard while we are getting our sails repaired, and we're doing a little cleanup jobs while the boat is pulled out right now, just to make sure that it's all taken care of. You can see the hull looks pretty good from the last time we had a bottom job done. There are a few touch-up areas that need to be redone and repainted, and kind of a few barnacles chipped off that we had. I've noticed some of the blisters have not increased in size at all, so that is a good thing on all of the hull. Again, the dirty areas are just where the straps were, and you can see that's kind of pulled off some of that paint, so that's going to have to get repainted there and done again so that we can get her back in the water. And again, the barnacles are bad. You can see how they've kind of pitted the prop, and we're going to get that shaved down today, hopefully. Change out the zinc while we're at it, and just basically clean the boat. We've got a couple other maintenance things. Since it's on a stable surface, we can go ahead and there's a spreader light that's out. I'm going to put a ladder up today and get that changed, maybe clean that dirt off underneath the spreaders and get that fixed up, and basically just air her out so that she's got some breath in her. And we've already cleaned her and, you know, vinegared the inside, so that the mold will hopefully not get too bad. So that's where we're at today, and we'll keep you updated on what's going on. Today's kind of day 2 in cleaning up the boat. We literally abandoned ship when we were able to get to Green Cove, dropping all of the standing rigging on top and basically cleaning the boat out and getting everything inside in the middle of a huge rainstorm. So the interior of the boat got incredibly wet. The sails, like I mentioned before, were damaged in traveling. The clew was ripped free of the main. So we've got those to a sail maker. They're out right now getting repaired. When you are doing this process, kitty litter is really your best friend. Damp rids are very expensive. Kitty litter is cheap. Put kitty litter around in bowls, so when the boat is closed up, they're absorbing the moisture that's in the air, and they're also kind of giving it a little bit better smell than the mold. Your next best friend is vinegar. Vinegar in a spray bottle, I'll show you this one right over here, is just spray. Come in and spray every single surface with vinegar. Just spray it down, because it is going to get incredibly nasty while the boat is closed up. Today is a nice morning, so I've got all the hatches open. The boat's breathing out pretty well, and but again, I'm cleaning the boat interior-wise and then gathering some things up. Any cloth that's in the boat is going to get mold on it, so just take it out of the boat, bag it up, take it out, take it home, wash it, get it cleaned out. But these are basically the steps that you'll need to do to get the boat at least in a stable position where when you come back to it, it won't be super nasty. And we're going to be using this new product, a Rust-Oleum for Appliances epoxy. I've tried this on the boom when we had some damage after Hurricane Matthew, and now I've cleaned off the prop. I'm going to spray the prop with this, let it dry, and then I'm going to come back with the bottom paint, kind of cover the prop. And my goal here is to just see if the product can preserve a little bit more of that paint. You can see just with a simple cleaning, a lot of the paint comes right off of this. Now, I've not taken the surface all the way down, so you can see where it's still got a lot of the paint on it, but it should have a lot more on there, I think. Maybe that's just the way it works, but I'm going to go ahead and spray it with this Rust-Oleum product. Epoxy. I've tried it, like I said, I tried it on the boom and it looks really good, so we'll see how that does. I'm going to first spray it, I'll show you what that result looks like, and then we'll come back and hit it with some bottom paint to kind of seal that up and see if next time we pull it out. As you can see, we've got the entire thing painted now and it looks good, and we are going to go ahead and let that dry overnight, because even an hour is too tacky for that to be done, and then we'll come back and do some anti-fouling paint on top. I suppose a few painting tips are probably appropriate at this time as well. So as you're preparing to put your painting supplies up, always a good idea to take your brush and wipe the rim. And this is something, this paint tends to dry very quickly. So as you're painting, wipe the rim clean, so that's a nice open channel there. Then, when you're ready to close it up, take a piece of plastic. Old Target bag is a good one, and put it over the top of that, and then as soon as the truck passes, you'll go ahead and put your lid on top of that, and what that will do is make it easier next time for you to get that open. And again, we're going to clamp that down. Again, we use disposable brushes, disposable gloves, and just throw the whole mess away when you're done. This can, of course, needs to be shaken every time. Good suggestion, before you use it, take it to Lowe's or someplace like that to have them shake it up for you. Then it will be all ready to go. It should be a fairly thick consistency. You'll notice that professionals, when they do this, they will oftentimes go ahead and pour it out into a pan or a dish and then seal the can back up. And that's just because it does have materials in it that dry out very quickly in the weather. So it goes on, it brushes on quick, and it dries quick. The curing time is the issue with the drying process, and that's why normally 24 hours is what you need to have this product to really set up nicely for you. Okay, so have fun painting.
Video out on the annual review or haul out. A couple of times that people ask, when's the best time of year to go ahead and haul your boat? Well, in Florida, October, November are usually great months. It starts to get cooler, drier. The boat comes. You usually you can get out pretty easy without too much problem. You get closer into November, you have a lot of folks getting their boats put back in the water, so it may cause a problem with in delays in getting the boat put back in if you wait too long. But usually this is a good time of year to pull it out. And again, we're cleaning the boat, we're fixing stuff, we're visiting relatives. I'm staying with my son. So it is a good time to do those sort of things. Last year we pulled it in November over the Thanksgiving holidays. So it just depends on what your schedule is, but this is a good time in Florida to have the boat out of the water and on the hard so that you can make some basic repairs to it. The other thing is cost. We budget $1,000 annually for this activity. Sometimes we don't use that, sometimes we use a little bit more. So it's about $1,000 is what we have in our budget to do the haul out. Again, it's an opportunity to do those basic things that you're probably not able to do when you're living on the boat, and check the boat over and make sure that all is well, and like getting sails to sail makers and taking time to do spot checks on the bottom and do those little fix-up things in the interior that are just difficult to do when you are on the water. So that's what the annual haul is all about, and it's a good activity to enjoy the beautiful fall weather while you're at it. So have a great day, and we'll see you on the water.